and welcome back. Today we're doing a really fun project where we're going to make an accordion style organizer. So I'm just making this out of envelopes and washi tape, regular tape. You'll need a ruler and a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that's, I think, the prettier the better. One that you've been holding on to that you never thought you would use but you finally can use. So I actually use this for couponing at the grocery store or mostly couch scrapbooking where I can put all my embellishments in one little book and I don't have to carry all of my containers around. So you really want to make sure, like where I'm doing here, that you're enforcing that one end with washi tape. You're going to be moving them around a lot and you want to make sure that you're not ripping anything, because if you rip one of these envelopes, then you'll have to start all over again and it's not fun. So you do take that flap that you usually put on the outside and lid closed. You're going to put that on the inside and fold it under so that you can actually get into your envelopes. I'm going to be using 20 envelopes in my project today, and I'm using 9.5 by 4.5 envelopes, like just a standard letter one, but you can use whatever size envelopes you want. You can use as many as you want. It really just depends on what you need it for and how many containers you actually need it in. I've seen people make these with a lot less or a ton of them, but it just kind of is nice because you can make this as exactly what you need to. There's no really huge rules except for a lot of tape. You need to use a lot of tape. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually stack them on top of each other, and this is where the lot of tape comes in handy. So you're going to do it all around the outside, and you're going to make sure that pretty much every inch of that thing has some tape on it, and you're going to do it on that V that goes down. You don't want to do it on the top or you won't be able to get into any of them because you close them all. The big thing is you want to make sure everything is stacked like right on top of each other, that you're not putting things kind of wonky or it won't work. It'll just be a mess and you'll be like, wow, what a waste of tape that I just did. So you're going to keep stacking them, make sure they're facing the correct directions, and just continue to use all of the tape. This is a Scotch tape runner, and I actually don't use Scotch's brand tape. I use tape that I order from Tape Jungle. I think it's a lot more affordable and I love a good deal, so I'm going to find whatever I can that is going to give me the biggest bang for my buck. So just keep stacking and taping and taping and taping, and this is a really good project to do when you are watching TV or binge watching. I think I was watching Supernatural that just came out in the new season on Netflix because I love that show, but I cannot watch them like one a week. I just get too anxious. So I like to watch them all just when the season's over, and then I can just watch all of them at one time while I'm scrapbooking. So see, that's how it works. That's why I use a lot of tape. So the next big thing you want to do is get a 12 by 12 piece of beautiful paper. This one is by Echo Park. And you want to cut off that little, what is that thing called at the bottom? The branding strip or something. And you want to cut this one, if you're doing it the size that I'm making, by 9.5 by 12. So the envelope is 9.5 inches, so of lengthwise. So you want to make it that way. And then the 12 inches is how I'm going to fold it over. But that 12 inches is going to be completely customizable to whatever size envelopes and how many are you using. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use your ruler, and we're going to measure out. So the ruler is 12 inches and so is the paper, so that's a good thing that I've got that at least right so far. And we're going to do the first measurement at 4.5 inches, and that's the size of your envelope and the bottom. So I like to use a metal ruler just because then I can kind of score it a little easier. You can use, if you have a scoring tool, then that's just amazing, and I wish I had one and I'm a little jealous right now. And then you can score it so you're really going to get a good crisp straight line. Next measurement you're going to do is from, so it would be the top, and you want to do that one 3 inches. We're actually going to kind of score this one again, but we're going to make a really small little incisions so it's more of like an accordion style up at the top. So depending on how full your book is, it's still closed. So make sure that everything is evenly done. Make sure all the folds are really, really straight, or things are just going to get wonky really fast because everything's taped in so far. So double check your measurements. It's really cool how those polka dots lined up. I was pretty excited about that actually because I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. So this is where you're going to make some accordions. So you're going to do every 1.5, or not 1.5, every 1/2 inch up at the top. And I like to start and just do a little each time because that'll make success a lot better. So I think I start at in the middle, and then I go out towards the outside. And like I said, this is going to be really so that depending on how full, nothing's going to fall out. You don't have to do this step, but when I did it on my like trial run, everything kind of fell out because it wasn't all the way closed at the top, like if that makes sense. Like there was a big gap because the paper wasn't rounded on the top. So this, you'll see when it's done kind of more of what I'm saying, but you want to do these every 1/2 inch. You could do it smaller, but I'm like, that's totally gonna mess me up. I don't know where I went there. Probably yelling at a kid to stop hitting the other kid. If you're new to my channel, I have 3 small children and they like to fight, so I have to stop sometimes in the middle of this to kind of chill everybody out. So you're gonna really make sure everything is, all the lines are straight. That's gonna help you hugely. It's hugely a word. Now I'm questioning I'm exhausted. It's been a long day, guys. So keep going, like I said, every 1/2 inch. And we're getting there. We're almost done with this thing. Alright, so see how it kind of just rolls over? That's what we want. The next thing you're going to do is from the bottom one where it was 4 1/4, now you're going to do a 1/2 inch. So the big one at the bottom is 4 1/4. That's the height of the envelope, and then this is the 1/2 inch. So this is when all the 20 envelopes are together, that bottom is a 1/2 inch. So you just kind of have to do the math when you're plating depending on your envelope size, and always triple check if everything's gonna fit. So see how that accordion at the top is making sure everything is gonna be concealed in it and it's not gonna fall out. So now I'm doing an extra little step where I'm going to put like a closer in it, and all I'm gonna do is make little slits in the middle of the back one where the envelopes are all gonna be glued down to the middle. And then I just took some twine that I got at the Dollar Tree because Emily likes a good deal. And you're just gonna stick it in if it'll let you, because apparently mine's fighting with me. And I do the long side on the inside of it, so that way you have an extra tape kind of holding it down. And I just did little like 1/2 inch slots. And this is gonna just be an extra way to kind of keep things closed so nothing falls out. You do not have to do this. You could use Velcro, you could use like reinforceable tape, and I did tape that down. And then when I'm attaching the envelopes to the back of that, I'm also taping it on top of it. So this is where you're going to use pretty much all your tape. Make sure this is like the biggest spot where you want to make sure things are really, really, really taped down. I use a ton of tape on this, especially making 2 of them. Alright, so the back's taped down. Make sure everything's lined up. See, mine was not, and it is not worth. You want to make sure that everything is really lined up, or it's just not going to look as cute. And you put all this time into it. You used all your tape. You want to make sure it's in there. And then I really make sure it's pushed in. Now I'm going to use a lot more tape. And remember, just do the V, don't do on the back, or you won't be able to get in. Oh, if you heard that, that was my dog's crazy scratching. And then I like to put it in the bottom on that 1 inch part, or 1/2 inch part at the bottom, so all the envelopes are really in there. So now you're going to see how it's like in a little accordion. I love this thing. It is so easy and it keeps everything so organized. And you can take your little twine and make a cute little bow, and it's just super, super adorable. You just have to mess around with it. I always suggest, always using a scrap piece just to try it out, just to make sure your measurements are correct. Do your math if you feel like it, and so you can make sure everything will fit really nicely. You're not wasting any paper. and you can put the little string inside when you're shopping or whatever. And I like I said, I do embellishments in there. You can do your coupons in there. It's just super fun. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, just put them in the bottom, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Good night.